Hey there, YouTube. Another Taurus High Point production coming at you. Woo! Home casting. Home casting bullets. I'm assuming you've spent your money, and you've got your Lee melter, and you've got your molds. You know what you want to start casting with, but you're having some issues with the melter and trying to maintain the heat. And you've got people telling you don't put the sprue back in the bucket. It cools your lead. Don't add fresh lead to your bucket. It cools your lead. Don't do this, don't do that. And you started casting, and your first couple of incidents have been kind of excruciating, nauseating, headache. You don't know whether you're gonna continue or whatever. Continue mission. Don't stop. I can probably help you out with your dial settings on your Lee melter. These are not from me. Okay. Elvis Ammo did the work. He got it all straightened out with a PID he had, and that's what he got on your Lee melters. And I'll read them off for you. The important ones for me as I do my home casting. 6.5 on the dial. It is 875 degrees approximate-ish. Okay. Some may be 10 to 15 degrees higher. Some may be 10 to 15 degrees lower. You'll have to find, the absolute. But for me, these numbers work out as I'm smelting. I really only bounce it between 6.5 and 7, and 5.5 is 810 degrees, 4.5 is 730 degrees, 4 on the dial, 4.0 is 690 degrees. I tend to keep mine between 6.6 and 6.5 and 7. I don't deviate from that too much. I like my lead a little hotter as I'm pouring bullets. If I am doing, say, round ball or something like that, I might take it down a little bit between 6 and 6.5. But generally, if I'm casting 4.52, 3.75, 4.01, I'm up at the higher temperatures because those are a bit bigger bullet. Your Lee Rio bullet is the same. I keep it up there probably about 875 degrees, if not a little higher. Between 6.5 and 7 on the melter. And as you're casting, you'll notice that, it's beginning to look a little bit like porridge on your sprue. So when you bounce your sprue off, you'll just turn your heat up a little bit, and that'll straighten that out in a few minutes. And then you've got those that, frosted bullets shatter like glass. There's a guy here on YouTube, I can't remember his name. I want to say it's Fortune Cookie, but I'm not 100%. And when I saw his video, I was like... So I happened to cast up one day. There were some frosted ones and some non-frosted bullets, and I did what he did, and I was like, the difference between a frosted bullet and a non-frosted bullet. One's frosted. One looks a little glazed. If you take a hammer, they both react exactly the same. Smack them with a hammer on an anvil or on a vise or on a piece of concrete, they mush. Oh, and then I get but it could shatter like, it could. And I'm like, oh. So if I do 10 frosted bullets and all they do is mush like a non-frosted bullet and they don't shatter like glass, you're still going to hold on to that idea that they could. And then they go telling this next guy this cancer, which needs to be removed from casting. Not me. Another cancer that needs to be removed from casting is, well, my cousin's nephew's aunt's cat's parrot, who had a dog as an aunt for an uncle, had a roommate that when he was casting, he didn't smoke his mold, and the lead bonded and everything seized absolutely shut, and it never opened again. I've got videos up of what happens when you cast without smoking. I'll soon to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 14 different molds for my casting operations, for my little, what I cast at home. I have yet to have a non-smoked mold seized shut, and I have yet to have and they do all this mold preparation where they take the Lee mold and they douse it in kerosene, douse it in gasoline, douse it in carb cleaner, douse it in brake cleaner, douse it in ammonia, and then set fire to it for 4 days before they use it. You don't need to do all that. Just cast with it. Straight out of the box. I've got 14 different molds I cast with. Okay? I've cleaned and smoked the first 2. Cancers that need to be removed. But don't take my word for it. I've got videos up of it. There's proof. Two smoke or not smoke the mold is one. Two smoke or not smoke the mold part 2 is another. I think at that time I do 440 round ball and 3.56 for 9mm. Cancers that need to be removed. And people, and they just, and then everybody propels it, perpetuates it. Nobody wants to, okay, you know what, I'm going to stop the vehicle, we're all getting out here. I do. Why do I want to do this? Because the next guy coming into this doesn't need to be so far shaken that, and then one day he forgets to smoke his mold and he totally freaks out. Damn near kills himself tripping over everything to get the mold smoked and the bullets out. And he opens the mold and everything just drops out. Boop, boop. And he's like, did I ever get so lucky? No, pal, you didn't get lucky. Aluminum and lead will never bond. But, shh. Don't. Aluminum and lead will never bond. The properties in aluminum and the properties in lead are two different, and they'll never bond with each other. Matter of fact, if you melt lead and aluminum together and mix lead and aluminum together in a liquid state, the aluminum's going to float to the top and the lead will stay down at the bottom. Don't ask me how. I know. But, yes, you might want to apply a little oil to the top of the sprue area occasionally, but is it every time you cast you have to keep up with it? Do you have to? Cancers that need to be removed. I'm doing my part. I'm showing you the evidence and the proof. Whether you pick up the books and want to read, or actually, heaven forbid you educate yourself past something other than word of mouth. This has been a Taurus High Point production. Okay? I choose, therefore I am responsible.